Yes, Cash is, getting everything ready here for our interview with our beautiful guest. Good morning, and thank you for being with me. Canciones de Domingo with Sylvia, KUHS Denver Radio and TV Station. Muy buenos días, gracias por estar con nosotros otra vez en Canciones de Domingo con Silvia por KUHS Denver Radio y Televisión. Y como les digo, nos cacharon otra vez arreglando los botones y los controles para estar listos, pero no estábamos listos otra vez. Pero muy buenos días y gracias por escogernos otra vez y estarnos acompañando esta linda mañana de domingo, que tenemos un invitadazo de lujo, el actor y modelo Greg. And I never really tried to say your last name, but I'm gonna do it and then you tell me if I botched it or not. But Farinelli?
Yep, that's right.
Oh.
Farinelli. Everybody mistakens, and even myself,
Okay,
mistakens and says Farinelli, but at times, but no, yeah, Farinelli. And you got it on the first try.
Wow, yes, see, I don't do bad with all of them. Just some that they're kind of strange, but it's just like the pronunciation of the origin of the name or last name sometimes has a lot to do with it. I mean, we give it a different pronunciation or meaning or whatever it is, but actually sometimes it's the other way around. It's like, no, that has like nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So good morning and thank you for being with us, Greg. It's been a long time.
Yes. Sylvia and I have been friends for 4 years, and I haven't seen her in 2 years. This is the first time I've seen her in 2 years, so basically we're catching up today.
Yes. But thank you because you're coming all the way from Colorado Springs, where you're spending some time. You had knee surgery, and your parents are helping you with the recovery and everything.
Yeah, it was a back surgery, and
back surgery.
It's one of those. It was a long journey to decide when I needed to getting that, because back surgery is like no joke. But
yes,
it turned out to be a good thing for me. I'm doing pretty well. 5 weeks out from it, and it was scary because it's back surgery, but it's just that if you end up doing it, or for me at least, I mean, it's gotta be a calculated decision for sure. So
because of work and all the other stuff that you
work
have going on.
Work and making sure that you have the best outcome, because back surgery is one of those risky ones. So
yeah, they tell you like, okay, you have certain percentage of coming out good, or a certain percentage that nothing is gonna get any better or any worse, and then certain percentage that you probably is gonna like not be able to walk again or something like that. They tell you.
That's been part of the journey, is dealing with like all of the mixed stories, or the mixed outcomes, or the mixed diagnosis that you get. I had doctors was like saying, it's perfectly reasonable for you to get surgery, and then I had doctors saying you should avoid surgery at all costs. So that's what made the decision so scary, because they're doctors and they've worked very hard to be where they're at. So
yes, so you kind of wonder like, okay, if they're saying that, and the doctors like, why? Maybe the ones that are telling me that I need it, they're not really good.
And I mean, and that's why you just got to take your time with it. My story with it so far has been a really hopeful and optimistic one, because I did everything to try to avoid surgery first. Physical therapy, acupuncture. I did this chiropractic practice called non-surgical spinal decompression. Some people call it traction, I guess. But yeah, just I wasn't getting the result that I wanted and needed, frankly. But so I just I was slow and did my research, looked up my doctors, and then I ended up doing it. And 5 weeks later, I'm feeling pretty good.
Good.
And I think I honestly feel in my heart that I made the right decision doing it. So that's been my journey, though. Everybody's journey with that type of thing is it's their own journey. So.
Yeah, and also has to do a lot with recovery, like how you deal with that, and if you have help or not. Because sometimes, when you don't have help and you have to do stuff that you don't supposed to be doing, because you're supposed to be like bed rest, or either just making little steps, and doing just regular things that we do daily that we don't think about. Those are so hard to do, and you're like, wow, I can't believe that I never thought that I was going to have a hard time doing this simple thing.
Yeah. The things you take for granted, for sure.
Yes.
The moral of the story is take care of your back. It's important.
But how do you get? I mean, you got hurt because I mean you do a lot of martial arts. So how do you mess up your back? Was it because of that?
I think it was a mixture of a lot of strenuous activities for sure, and I think the most accurate. This is where I think it happened. I think I was in the gym. I was doing squats, and I was trying to do that one last rep, and it was heavy, and I was maxing out, and
you like they say, if it doesn't hurt, you're not doing it good.
Yeah. The no pain, no gain, mentality. Yeah. It's like that can serve you or it could hurt you. So, but yeah, it just I felt something, and like then I was like getting this pain down my leg, and it just wouldn't go away. So I finally got it checked out, and it turned out, I herniated a disc in my spine is what happened. So, but yeah, it was a mixture of just living an ultra active lifestyle, and weightlifting at the gym and doing the martial arts and stuff like that. So it's just I've learned from it. I've learned I'm gonna take care.
To be more careful.
Yeah, I'm gonna take care of my body. Your body gets you from here to there. It gets you through life. It's something to be grateful for. Yeah, it's something to be grateful for sure.
Yeah, and how long ago was it?
I got the injury, as far as I can tell, I remember it being like 2 years. It's felt much longer, to be honest.
Oh, wow.
Because like I said, it's been a journey. It's been tough. It is hard, but I mean, take hope from this story because it's not all doom and gloom, there are ways to deal with it. Take your time with the journey and make sure you're doing the right thing.
Exactly.
That's the right thing for you.
Yes.
Because everybody when dealing with an injury is different, so it's.
Yeah, and then you have like different type of jobs too. Like sometimes the person that gets a little injury, but it works like in construction or something very physical. Of course, the injury is gonna get worse and worse with the time, just because you're moving so much. And instead of like somebody that just works on a desk, that also working on a desk is really bad for your back, just because sitting down for so many hours. It's gonna, the injury's gonna get bad too, but not as bad as if you were doing like a physical job. But it's still, either or it's gonna be really painful. I know that you went through a lot of pain, through all these years. At first,
and then like the other symptoms came. That's another thing that ultimately caused me to do the surgery. While we're on the subject, I do want to give a shout out to my parents, Janice and Kenji, my mom and dad, for taking care of me through the surgery recovery, because I live in Albuquerque actually, and I'm pursuing my career as an actor down in Albuquerque, but my parents welcomed me home for the next month, so to help with the recovery. So I have, hold your friends and family. I'm very grateful to them. So.
Well, that's awesome because, sometimes the parents, tell you like, well, you moved, we're here, we have a new life. I don't know if you come back, you're going to kind of mess up our lives, or like we had to get a new routine. But then some nice parents, like yours, like, you know what, come over, we'll take care of you, and we'll make sure that you get better so that when you go back to Albuquerque, it's all good and you're ready to work.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, Greg here and I met on a film called MF0, Monster Force Zero, and that was, 4 years ago.
Yep.
And talking about Monster Force Zero, we just want to say hi to Nate, to, gosh, there's so many names.
Hi, Nate, Shale, Aeon, Delana,
Mike.
Adam, Mike. Please forgive me if I don't mention your name.
Yeah, forgive us if when
it's
you're
a spur of the moment. It's a spur of the moment shout out. So.
So we apologize. We forget.
It's not that we don't love you.
Yes, exactly. No, but there were so many people that work on this film. Finally, it's coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. Last I heard, we've got October release.
Oh, this month? Yeah, we're October already. Wow.
Yeah.
The 13th?
For video on demand. So.
I think it's the 3rd or the 23rd.
I can't say which platform yet, but we'll definitely let you know. But
Yes.
it's Monster Force Zero, and we're on Instagram and Facebook, so we've got all the details there.
Yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and like and follow the pages, that will be wonderful. So you guys get to know exactly all the updates for it. But we worked really hard on this film, guys. I just want to tell you that it was something different for me. I don't know if you have
Yeah.
worked on something like that before. It's kind of like a sci-fi comedy action.
Yeah, sci-fi, comedy, action, and a movie for cosplayers.
Yes.
So if you're into cosplay, I really feel that you'll love this movie. The reason why it did take so long is because it was on a limited budget, and Nate had to edit it frame by frame, one frame at a time, all right? And there's like thousands of frames in a movie, and this movie is an hour and I think 40 minutes long.
I believe so.
Yeah, and he had to
so.
take it frame by frame and do all the special effects with Adobe Effects.
Yes.
And he did an amazing job. He worked very hard for a very long time with laser-like focus because, my attention span goes through the window. If I have to do a task, it's like, what is the next one?
Yes, and
so.
And so he did that, and plus I don't know if it was your case, but I had to record everything again, like my voice.
Really?
So we had to go through that because the audio was a little bit off.
Yeah.
So doing that again,
Yeah. If you're learning about film, that's ADR.
Yes, exactly. And it is a lot of work, and a lot of people ask me questions like, hey, I thought you were filming something and it's not out yet. Well,
Yeah.
when it's something that is gonna be like this one, because we have a lot of short films that we get out of there, and they're low budget or no budget at all, but it's just something that we just want to get out there. It will go out pretty much almost like a month later or a few months later, but
Yeah.
this is a feature film, and there was not just local actors that we were in this film. There were
Yeah.
actually people from Hollywood.
Yeah, Garrett Wang from Star Trek Voyager.
Yes.
He played an ensign. I forgot his name. I'm not a huge Star Trek fan. My sister and dad are, and every single time that I would walk through the family room at a certain time of day, I'd hear what engage, or something like that.
You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But we also have Pat Tanaka, which is like
Yeah.
a wrestler from the WWE, and I got to work with them on, on set, and he was amazing. He was pretty cool. What do you think about
Yeah,
him?
Pat was a super cool mellow dude. Him and I talked an awful lot on set. I'm a wrestling fan, so I was actually familiar with some of Pat's work, and one of my favorite matches of him is him wrestling. At the time, he was the 1-2-3 Kid, who is my favorite wrestler. He goes by X-Pac or Sean Waltman.
Okay.
Part of this infamous wrestling group called the Click. But he had a match that was pretty good. They had a match that was pretty good. He has a really cool, really crazy story from that one, because apparently Pat hit his head on the guardrail during the match, and they actually stopped it like mid during commercial or something like that, is what he said. But it was a cool match because at the time I was also doing karate, and it was like Pat was a martial artist, and Sean Waltman, his style in the ring was a martial artist type style.
Okay.
Yeah. So so I talked with him an awful lot because I'm a wrestling fan too. So.
Yeah, but he was really down to earth, and it was just funny sometimes. He's like, well, I have to go, I have an audition. I'm like, where at? In Arizona. And we're like, oh, like right now? It's like, yeah, the airplane is waiting for me, I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
So it was really nice. This film is a mix of talent. There were so many people working to make this happen, and finally it's coming out. I think,
Yeah.
I forget if it's the 13th or the 23rd. I remember it was a 3 at the end. I think
I read the 13th. That's
the
my
13th?
understanding.
Okay,
Yeah.
so on the 13th, and so just follow, the page to get to know more information. And So it was really good because that's where I met Greg, and you know, ever since then we've been good friends. And then he decided to move to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And if you guys don't know, Albuquerque is like the new Hollywood. It has so many new things for actors, for anybody that is on the entertainment industry. I mean, Netflix moved their office over there, right?
Yeah, Netflix bought the Albuquerque studios down there, and they're getting underway. With COVID, it's been a little bit tougher. I mean, everything was put on hold, including the business.
Yes.
But yeah, Albuquerque is a great place to, gain some of that name show experience, which is what I have done and continue to do. And honestly, I love it there. I'm comfortable there.
It's really nice.
And,
I like to go over there, and we usually visit every year, but this year, thank you COVID, we didn't make it to Santa Fe or to Albuquerque.
But yeah, it's been strange times for sure. I love Albuquerque. The food is great. There's plenty of restaurants, plenty of local restaurants to eat from, which are awesome.
Yeah, and a lot of people are moving actually down to New Mexico. Like most of the people that I've been knowing in this film industry for the last, 6-7 years, they have moved down there. And so I know that you have worked in different type of projects like Roswell that I was, able to
Roswell,
watch
New
you.
Mexico, on CW.
Yeah, so tell us about the experience.
It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. Everybody on Roswell is super cool, super together, and super family-like. When you're brought in as this recurring co-star, you're coming in the middle of everything, and all the leads. I mean, that I got to work with. I got to work with Nathan Parsons, who plays Max, Michael Trevino, who plays Kyle, and Lily Cowlis, who plays Isabel. They were all very super cool and made me feel a part of the team. And they were super friendly, super easygoing, great to talk to, and hang out with all day. So, and Rosa, I don't want to leave out Rosa. She was awesome too. I mean, she was super professional.
So you're done with all the like filming with them. You're not gonna come back to do more. That's the thing is that I played Deputy Joe. Yes.
He's an established character in the Roswell universe.
That's
what we call it, right? But honestly, the creatives of the show, it's their show, and they get to do what they want with it, and if they have me back, I would love to be back, but I'm not gonna count on it. It's just something that, if you get the great news, then awesome. But
so it's nothing like they told you like ahead of time, like, you know what, I mean, because like I said, I mean, Deputy Joe is like a big, role in there.
Well, it's a name role for sure, and that's pretty cool. I was brought in as a co-star, so if they decide to have me back, I'd be glad to do it.
So there's still opportunity there. That is a good thing. I mean,
there's potential. There's potential for the opportunity
to
come back, but nothing's for sure. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, especially the film industry that is a little bit crazy. Things can change dramatically, like in a second. So that is one of the things that we can even count on. Something like we're working on a project and we cannot even tell you that's actually going to come out ever. That happens. That has happened to me. I don't know about you, but you work on something and you never see it.
Sometimes with local independent filmmaking, but
yes.
The thing about that is that those people are trying to find their stride, and they're trying to learn how to do it, and a lot of times some other thing gets in the way. I mean, I've done like some student films that never gotten completely done, or anywhere, but it's you can't, at least my opinion, you can't judge a person for who they are and for where they are in the learning process.
Yes.
Right? If if you're going in for a student film, you darn well should know that, you know,
Yeah.
they're in the middle of their journey learning on what they're going to do. So,
and they can surprise you
yeah.
many times.
But
you know?
honestly, I mean, these students, I mean, they're very talented.
Yes.
A lot of these students, they're very talented, very creative, you know. They're learning what their style is, you know, and they're very insightful in what they're doing. So,
Yes.
So keep it up, guys. Seriously.
Yeah, because you know,
Yeah.
you never know. I've seen some people that I have worked, you know, like at the beginning of my acting career, and they're in big places right now.
Yeah.
And some other ones went ahead and moved to Daniela, un besote, mija. She moved to Europe, and she's going to film school over there too. You know, so
Yeah.
getting a little bit of everything, and just making sure that she gets all the knowledge that she wants to. That's her dream, and she wants to do it right, and she can go for it. So,
Yeah.
so there's a lot of things that with the film industry that you never know what is going to happen. But
Yeah.
Sounds like Roswell was a great project, and
Roswell definitely hit his stride. I mean, yeah.
Yes, and it was
nice
nice to see you. Like when you just told me, "Hey, I'm gonna be, in Roswell tonight." I was like, "Oh, cool!"
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
able to watch. And actually, I watched it twice because there's another channel on my network that passes like later, so I was able to watch it again. I was like, "Yeah, there he is."
Yeah.
And I was like, "There." It's like, "You never gonna have dinner?" No, not yet. Hold on, because you never know. Sometimes you can have a main role and a good role, but then you blink and then you miss it. The scene. So it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, well, it's like my first day. So I'm in Roswell season 2, everybody, and that's not out on Netflix right now. So if you want to catch it, if you have Netflix, but I'm in season 2, and my first episode is like, yeah, it was like that. Don't blink.
Yeah.
Because it was super quick. I had one little line,
Yeah.
and. Where Max comes up and asks me for a favor, pretty much, without giving away too much.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Right, but anyway.
that's what happens a lot of
Yeah.
times. You get like a role in a big, project, but that doesn't mean you're gonna have a role that you're gonna be talking for like 3 minutes. Sometimes it's just you're just passing behind somebody.
Most of the experiences on set on the day, not really in front of the camera. I mean, I'm just when I'm there and ready, I'm laser focused. Just want to make sure that we get this done as many takes as it needs to take, not more.
Yes, exactly.
So, just 3 good rules of thumb for actors is show up on time, show up prepared. And by odd time, I mean 15 minutes early. But anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's my type of people. Yes. Yeah. Because you know what? A lot of people think that being an extra in just anything is like nothing. But let me tell you guys, sometimes when you guys are watching something
Mm-hmm.
and you see the extra is actually looking at the camera, you feel weird. You're like, man, did they really got the person? I mean, an extra has an important role to feel the scene as a real scene, not like okay, that person is looking at the camera, or that person is looking at the big actor that are interacting. It's like that mess everything up. My type of opinion, So if you're an extra in anything and that's how you start, I think that is a big role, because your job is to make the ambience or the scene to make it seem real.
Yeah, I mean, if you do, that's a big thing. Without background, the scene would be like 2 people talking in a place where, like, if they have a scene in an airport and you have no background, it's like, that will definitely take your attention away, because it's like, where are all the people? I mean, we're in the middle of JFK Airport and there's no people.
There's no people. There's nobody, Yeah, so it is very important. Where it doesn't matter where you start. A lot of people say like, well, they keep calling me for extras. It's like, that's a start if you really want to get into film industry, because another thing too is like being an extra, you see how much time it takes.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's like a whole day. It's like when you're filming, you cannot make any other plans. You'd say, okay, I'll be there, and they tell you it's from 4 to 6. Don't listen to that. Most of the time, if they don't have the place rented from 4 to 6, that means you're actually going to be there later than 6. So you have to not have any more plans but film that day.
expect to be there. Expect that to be your day. Expect that to be your day. My first high budget film experience was on a film called Hostels, and that was a 17-hour day. I recall it being a 17-hour day. About my mom came with me because she was being a mom.
Go mom!
Yeah, moms are awesome. Moms are awesome, but you know. They'll accompany you to a job up even when you're 30 years old. But no, I'm grateful to my mom because she's like that. But we drove the night before because I had a rehearsal for a play I was in with Springs Ensemble Theater down in Colorado Springs, and then we went the next day because it was they filmed it down in Chama, New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, and we got there, and the call time was 4:30 in the morning, and it was 4:30 in the morning, and it was cold. I remember I got there at like 3:45 because I was like, "Mom, number one rule, I got to be early."
Yes.
You know?
Yes. If you want to come with me,
yeah,
you better be ready.
And you know, and it was a great experience, honestly, because they fed us. It was great breakfast. I mean, honestly, and I got a chance to watch in person one of my favorite actors in the entire world, Christian Bale. You know, and I was around him for 17 hours. Did not talk to him because
that's the rule.
It's and the reason for that is because all actors have their process. If they're going to be doing an emotionally intense scene, if I'm doing an emotionally intense scene,
don't
honestly,
talk to me.
I don't. It's nothing personal. I don't like to be bothered because I'm concentrating on the scene. So, yeah, that was one that was one thing that was tough not to do. Is like not to.
I know, like seeing him
fan out on him,
like,
yeah.
Oh gosh.
Wanted to, but I just wasn't going to. I didn't want to be that guy, So,
yes.
But yeah, I mean, what's just the set. But anyway, it was a 17-hour day because I think we were dismissed, and then I had to get out of a Western costume. It was a Western.
Yes, I remember the movie when you mentioned.
Yeah.
I was like, "What is that the one I'm thinking of?"
Yeah, my face showed up like right behind Christian's, like right at the end. And my mom got all excited.
Like that,
Yeah, I was like, "I saw you!" I was like, "Yeah, that's great, Mom. Someday, I'd love to talk to Christian Bale on film, but it'll happen." But anyway.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, we got dismissed at like 7 p.m., 7:30.
Wow.
So that was, a long day, but
Yes.
totally worth it. Totally took in all the experience because it was at a train station, and back to one meant they had to move a train.
Oh.
They had to move a train back, so that's why the day took so long. It was because we were working with a moving train.
Well, there's a lot
Yeah.
of times that people don't realize that sets sometimes are actually
Yeah.
real sets, and there's stuff that happens that were not on the script.
Yeah.
Stuff that not even the people from there expect, and that's why it takes so long. Lighting changes. I don't know. A crazy storm comes in. Noise. Because sometimes for the audio, I don't know if you guys know this, but sometimes for audio, everything is quiet. Like if you're seeing that a scene that is people are going crazy and everything, actually that scene doesn't have all those sounds until afterwards, because they can't film,
Yeah.
somebody talking with all that noise around.
Yeah.
So if an airplane is passing by, forget it. You have to stop the scene and start all over again. So it is pretty, there's all these things that come up, and that's why the days get longer, and you guys only see like the result and thinking that everything is so glamorous.
Sound people are wizards, man. They can create some real magic,
Exactly, make it happen.
I mean, I can totally see why you would have to commit like a few years of study to something like that.
And they're pretty strong too, like carrying that. That's what I was talking
Oh
about.
yeah,
like
you know, I've
the,
held them.
the microphone.
Yeah, I've held a boom mic for a film.
Oh my God, that is
It
a lot of work.
hurts. It hurts, and it's like, my God, you work so hard, dude.
Have you seen their arms? Like usually the sound engineer.
Yeah, they
their
get used to
arms,
it. I
like,
mean, I feel like
so
pretty
big.
soon, you know, it's like they're gonna just be. This is their natural walking like
Yes.
this. You know.
And they have to be sometimes in places that you're like, what the
Yeah.
heck? Is there's no, like on a car, when there's like a conversation inside a car,
Yeah.
and you don't know where this sound engineer is at. You know, sometimes it's like hiding, like kind of how you call those people that they can like contortion? Is that like,
Contortionist.
you know, like you can fold yourself up?
Yeah,
and
sometimes,
be in a
I
little
mean,
corner?
sometimes they want to catch the sound in the car that way. Other times they'll hook a mic up to you.
Yeah.
And they'll hide it in your costume. You know?
Yeah, but I seen the
Yeah.
people doing it themselves, and it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I had that one experience, I think, one time where the sound guy hit with, like, he got down on the floor in the back, you know, below the back seat, you know. He was just kind of holding the mic up like this, you know. And it's like, are you getting good sound? If I'm facing you, are you getting good sound back here, buddy?
Yeah.
And then he's down here, you know, straining, trying to get comfortable. He's like, yes, you know. So,
Yeah, but it's a lot
Yeah.
of stuff that you guys don't see that a lot of people, you know, go
Yeah.
through, and sometimes they don't even know, or they don't wait. Well, when you guys go and watch something, stay until the credits are over, so you guys can kind of see who's the
Absolutely.
person that is a sound engineer, the you know, the set decorator. If you really like the movie, if you like the project that you're watching, try to watch who did all that, you know,
Yeah.
because it's not just the actors. The actors, we just try to make it happen, you know, we
Yeah.
bring it to reality, but some of these people, without them, you know.
Yeah, you know, I mean, down to the very PAs. I mean, PAs, they work super hard.
Yes.
And
Yes.
a lot of them are lucky to get like a 3 hours night's sleep, you know, between days. So, you know, those guys work so hard, you know. And when I was on,
Megan,
when I was
he
on,
says.
yeah, when I was on Roswell, you know, I had my own PA, and yeah, I was trying to make sure that I respected the hell. Am I allowed to say that?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
you are.
sorry about that. I
No, you
respected
are.
the hell out of him because, you know, he's there, he's working very hard, you know, for a union spot, so on crew. So, just so much hard work goes in. It's not just the actors on camera. I mean, actors work very hard to perfect their art form, you know.
Yes.
I'm always training, I'm always in class, but, you know, people behind the scenes, they are doing heavy lifting.
Yes, they
Heavy
are.
lifting, and
They are.
heavy lifting and working very hard on paperwork
Yeah,
that
that's
that
true,
we
too.
never even knew existed. So, you know, it's just
That is true. Until you start
Yeah.
working on this, like, oh, they do that too, and
Yeah.
also like for Monster Force Zero, you work behind cameras a lot too, because you helped out a
yeah.
lot.
Well, I have done PA work, and you know, not to the extent that they do on name shows like Roswell
Yeah.
or Interrogation, but it is hard work. It's very hard work.
It gives you
know?
like a little idea of what they go through, and you know, and like as an actor, when you are on this side, you know how to respect the person.
Mhm.
You know, that's why you always have to work. I have worked on lighting. I have worked on so much stuff,
Yeah.
but that gives me an idea on how stuff is done. You know,
Mhm.
if you never really research or see how it's done, you're never gonna understand the person that is behind something, you know, like why do they have that long face, you know. Well, sometimes it's like a long day, and if they're working on lights, and even though they have gloves, sometimes they get burned, you know. It is
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that happens. So if you really want to get into acting, I recommend you, if you get an extra, just accept it, you know, accept it, because you never know where that extra is going to take you to, and also you learn a little bit more what goes behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, definitely do it for the learning experience. Yeah, when you want to make that transition, it's important to get an agent, for sure. My agent is Tina Presley down in Mexico, and I want to give her a shout out because she works so hard too. But yeah, I wouldn't. That's a partnership there, and I wouldn't be where I'm at right now in my career journey without her.
Without
So
her, yes. They do represent a lot. I mean, there's really good agents out there, and there's really bad ones. So make sure you do your research. Ask your friends, you know, that they're in this industry for a while, what they recommend, who they recommend, and what you need to do too. Because sometimes, you know, it's not that the agency doesn't want you, but maybe you need a little bit more preparation. You need a little bit more of understanding before you go into this fully, and then they want to represent you and be like, well, this person is not showing up, this person is not doing anything, you know.
you know, it's a tough business because it's all like, it's timing and luck, and you know what they say about luck when opportunity meets preparation. So that's why you've got to train and work those audition techniques too as an actor. Because, you know, a lot of times when you're not getting to where you want to be, like within the time that you want to be, it's, you know, it's got nothing to do with the actor's lack of effort, you know.
It's sometimes the luck.
The
opportunity.
Or being in the right place at the right time, because, you know, 99.9% of the reason why I don't get a role is something I can't control.
Yes.
You know? So, you know.
And you cannot take it personal.
Yeah.
You know,
no, absolutely not.
Sometimes you can go to an audition, or you can go to, let's say, 30 auditions in a week, and you don't get any of them. And it's not personal. It's just something that sometimes even the the casting director doesn't even know what they're looking for. They're just like, when they see that person, they'll know. So when you ask, it's like, what did I do wrong? It's like, well, really nothing.
Nothing.
It's just
nothing. You did your job. You auditioned. You showed up, and you turned in your best work. You did your job.
And it's not like up to you. Is there any auditions that you're like really thought that you were gonna get that job and that you were disappointed on not getting?
To be honest, I mean, you always, you get excited. It's inevitable. You're gonna get excited by a part, right?
Yes.
You know, and sometimes when I didn't get a certain role that I auditioned for, the disappointment's there. But honestly, Bryan Cranston, there's this little YouTube clip about him addressing how he auditions. You know, he goes in, he shows up, he says thank you, and he leaves, and then he just lets it go. You know.
To the universe.
Yeah. You know, and honestly, I started adopting that mentality, and honestly, I have been a lot better for it. You know, because I'm just like,
You're not thinking about it.
Yeah. You know, I'm not thinking about it. I'm just going on with my life, and then if I get that pleasant phone call, sweet, you know. And you know, it's just that's how it is. That's how it is. It's a numbers game. It's a complete numbers game. So
exactly.
You know, if you didn't get the role, guys, it's not you. You know, really, it's not you. As long as you show up prepared for your audition, you know, it's not you.
And a lot of times.
It's not what you can control. That's what I meant to say.
Because it is like you in a way, because they're not, you're not what they're looking for. But sometimes, like I said, they don't even know what they're looking for until they see it. So
it's very true.
And especially like, let's say in Hollywood, they do a casting and like hundreds of people show up looking the same. So it's like the same people auditioning over and over again. But there's that one thing of that person that they choose that does. That one little nuance, you know, that you never know what it is. So it's like you can't take it personal unless you know that you were not prepared for the audition or something. Then you can blame yourself, like, I knew I could have done better because, you know, I just didn't have too much time. And let's be real. Sometimes auditions, they don't give you a lot of time to be prepared too. So one of the things that you need to do is just prepare to do improv. You know, make sure that you kind of know how to wingle, you know, like, it's just...
My second episode of Roswell, they were very good to me because they gave me additional lines. So I was just like...
You're like, okay, I'm going to...
You know, and I was like, you know, I actually thanked them on Instagram, you know, after the episode aired.
Oh.
Yeah, and the creator at the time, Miss Adley... Corinna, sorry.
There's a lot of names.
Yeah, man. You know, she was like, sorry that sorry I gave you so many extra lines, but thanks for hanging with it and everything. And I was like, no, give me more. I love working. Give me,
But it's just a lot of times people need so much time to learn one line. But you did pretty good. So.
Yeah, they in auditions, when you get those auditions with one line, they're called under fives or U5s, and you have one line. My acting teacher has a story about how his one word at an audition was a curse word. Yeah. So he had to figure. He was playing with like a dozen ways to say a bad word.
Yeah.
That was his job for the day. So when you put things in perspective, it's just funny when you think about it. Like
but it's
my job today was saying this word 10 times differently.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
But it happens. I mean, one word, depends how you say it.
Yeah.
It can make a big difference. So there you go. So how's your Spanish? So you're ready to?
I can. I'm not. Oh my gosh, I'm not fluent by any.
You want to try?
But I can read it and I think speak it well. I deserve the trolling if I butcher some words.
Yeah, no worries. I just wanted to translate a little bit for our Spanish-speaking audience. Pues como les decía, tenemos aquí en el estudio a Greg Farinelli, que es un actor y modelo. Ahorita él está viviendo en Albuquerque, Nuevo México. Es donde ahorita está, como decimos, el nuevo Hollywood. Hicieron muchos estudios allá, entonces mucha gente que está en la actuación se están moviendo para Nuevo México por esta misma razón. Y ahorita está recuperándose de una cirugía que tuvo en su espalda. Por eso está aquí en Colorado, está en Colorado Springs con sus papás que lo están cuidando y nos hizo el favor de manejar hasta acá, hasta Denver, porque Colorado Springs, para los que no sepan, está algo lejecitos de aquí. Entonces está aquí esta mañana con nosotros y pues buenos días y bienvenido. Va a tratar de hablarnos español un poco. ¿Qué nos vas a decir?
Un poco.
Un poco.
Let's see. I work in as a side hustle, I work in a kitchen at a Mexican restaurant.
Oh,
so
okay.
Some of the words that I've had to get used to saying is "Caldo es grande para aquí." Caldo es grande para llevar.
Caldo de res. Wow. So they're asking for that a lot over there?
Oh yes, yeah. Caldo and menudo and pozole.
Menudo and pozole.
Yeah,
So that must be during the weekends, right? Because people use that for the hangovers.
I don't work on the weekends, so I gotta check on how much we sell of that.
People are drinking during the week. Time over there. Wow.
But it's popular. I haven't tried menudo yet. I want to.
I like pozole. I like pozole.
Pozole is pretty good too.
Yeah. Menudo, I can shoot the rubbery stomach.
Menudo. Well, it's just it's. It's cow tongue. So
no.
Or cow. No, cow.
Stomach.
Cow stomach, sorry.
Yeah, no.
No, the lengua is the cow.
Lengua, yeah. So,
my fault. I'm sorry.
So that's what I like. Pozole. Pozole is just meat, so it's a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but the texture of the stomach is just so slippery and stuff. I can't eat it. So I'm sorry.
I was the same, when I tried lengua for the first time, and my coworker was like, "What do you think?" It's like I have a tongue in my mouth.
So they told you what it was?
I knew what it was. I
they didn't tell me until after I ate it. So that's how you do it to kids.
Yeah.
You get them used to that. Wow.
Yeah. So, but he's like, "What do you think of the lengua?" It's like I have a tongue in my mouth.
Yeah. I mean it. Yeah, pretty good.
So, I think I can get used to it, though. I also said I didn't like beans, but now I can't get enough of beans, like pinto beans.
Oh my God, I love them. I love
black beans. So.
Wow. Well, I'm glad that you got some new, things into your dietary.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good. So, it's a Mexican restaurant that you work on. Is it Mexican or is it how do you call it?
Tex-Mex.
Like Tex-Mex or New Mexico, it has their own style.
It's pretty authentic, but they also, serve some American dishes too to kind of just reach.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
Okay, good.
But yeah, caldo, menudo.
Caldo, menudo, pozole.
Lengua.
So you learn those words, and
Yeah.
do you speak Spanish? Well, you try to practice your Spanish.
Yeah, well, you know, I took that job because first off, I needed to have a side hustle and pay the rent, pay the bills.
Yeah.
But also because, yeah, I wanted to put myself in an atmosphere where I would hear and try and speak Spanish, you know, and I'm not fluent yet. It takes a lot of work. I feel like I need to, like, maybe go to Mexico for a year or something. Yeah.
But they can force you to do it.
Yeah, well, they'll force me to do it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, because you know, sometimes I do get called in for Spanish-speaking roles. So
yeah, well, you have that look that you can go for anything. I mean, you look Asian, you look Hispanic, you look, you know, pretty much anything. So they can call you for whatever.
yeah, in the business they call that ethnically ambiguous.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's how they call me.
Yeah.
Like either that or exotic look, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, they said like you can go for anything. You know, you just have to do like the accent or whatever. Which I already have an accent, so if you want me to do a different type of accent, that would not happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can do Spanish ones and stuff like that.
Yeah, when I hone in on it, you know, it takes because, you know, talking the way I do on a regular basis, you know, when I go back to it, I have to practice it. Because, yeah, with accents, it's something, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yes, definitely.
For me, at least.
Definitely.
But, yeah, because, you know, I want to be authentic. I want to come off as authentic. You know, I'll be sure to, I got a, like, a little dialect book at home to kind of, to look at the vowel sounds.
Yes.
And try to incorporate it into the enunciation.
Yes.
So it's a science.
You can always text me and I'll help you with that. You know, I think I'm pretty good on that. Like I have help. I don't know if you guys, but I'm pretty sure you guys know our girl Renee. She was singing Spanish on one of Nine Around the World concerts. And she's like, Sylvia, I have no idea what I'm saying. I have, you know, no idea how to pronounce this.
Yeah.
So right on rehearsal, I was, you know, helping her out. And, you know, that's when she did it so well. Like everybody thought she spoke Spanish.
You know, I do actually have a question for you. How reliable is Google Translate on Spanish?
I never used this.
Well, you know, all right, hold on. All right, I'll look one up right now. How about that?
Yeah, I really don't use it, so.
I put my phone on airplane mode for no disruptions, but.
Yeah, no, you can take it off.
Let me see. What sentence should we say? How about the dog swims on the lake?
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. That's not too easy, so we'll see what they say.
Or swims in the lake.
In the lake.
The dog swims in the lake. El perro, I know that.
Yeah.
Holding your R's too mid-sentence is actually sometimes tough for me.
Well, it's just like, sometimes, you know, work can mean different things, so it's also hard for somebody that is learning, like, know what word to use, so. Pero aquí vamos a ver que, como dice, qué tan bueno es el traductor de Google para español e inglés.
Okay. El perro nada en el lago.
Nada. El perro nada?
Oh, no, yeah, you're right, because there's no accent.
Yeah. Nada.
El perro nada.
Uh-huh.
El perro nada en el lago.
Uh-huh. See? Yeah, you did it perfect.
Thank you.
So, so yeah, sometimes, you know, like when you're gonna do that stuff, and a lot of times too, like when it's a big paragraph, it's like how to flow with it too.
Yeah. Sometimes when I get those auditions, those Spanish-speaking auditions, it's like I gotta know exactly. I gotta memorize the thought, not really the
every word.
Not the sentence.
Yeah.
Because I know that I'm going to be saying it in Spanish.
Yes.
So, so because it's like double downing on memorization, you know, when you're not a fluent Spanish speaker. So.
Yeah, because it has a lot to do. You're thinking not just about what to say. You're thinking about, you know, the meaning of every word, the pronunciation of every word. It is so much.
Yeah. Yeah, your brain gets a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, my kids have that.
I got overwhelmed just now thinking about it.
I could tell by your face when Yeah, that was too much.
Yeah.
But imagine doing, English ones for me.
Yeah, but I imagine, I imagine it's like when if you're a Spanish actor having to speak English all of a sudden.
You know what?
You know?
Actually, for this, the movie Monster for Zero, I was actually cast for a different role.
Uh-huh.
And so they sent me this little paragraph, and they said, Sylvia, can you just read this and send it to us? Because it wasn't like like in-person audition. So I was like, okay. So I read that and I sent it, and then he's like, Sylvia, your accent and the way you speak, actually, I think you will be really good for this other role. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, would you mind reading some lines and then send them to me? And when he sent me the ones for, well, I guess I can say, Anunnaki, the character.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, heck no. Oh, no. It was so many lines.
You had a verbose part.
Yes, and it was
I was on
like
set with you that day when you were... I was on set with you that day
Yes.
when you did that scene.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it was like this words that I never even heard in my entire life. So I was like, Nate, it is okay if you want to give me the other part because it has less lines and
Yeah.
it's like, it's not so weird. I mean, weird as far as, because Anunnaki, when you guys see it, I mean, this is like not a giveaway or anything, but it is, she's like from another world,
Mm-hmm.
another planet.
Mm-hmm.
So the words that she says, they're not human, let's say it like that. And and he's like, no, Sylvia, I really like you for Anunnaki. It's like, so will you take it? I was like, are you sure I can do it? And he's like, yeah, I think you can do it.
You blew it out of the water. You got that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it was a beautiful character, but I was, like you said, like I was really worried. There's a lot of pronunciations that I was like, am I doing this right? And and it was a lot of stuff. It was overwhelming, but I'm glad I did it because it got me, very confident after that with other roles.
Yeah. But I can't wait for it to come out.
I know it's almost time, so make sure you guys tune into those pages, and also, if you guys want to follow us, through Facebook, Instagram. You had Twitter as well?
Instagram and Facebook, just Greg Farnelli, and handle on Instagram.
Oh,
is
TikTok.
Yeah. I go. I'm embarrassed to say my username. Because, I also came from an age where we played StarCraft online, and we had our, silly little code names. But anyway, it's also G Faceless on TikTok. But and it was because I was keeping my face covered for a little bit, but then I decided to stop doing that because...
Well, you know what? My daughter did that for a while on TikTok. Like I said, she uses it, and she's the one that got me into it. Yeah. But I know that lately you've been doing a lot of TikToks.
I've been just joking around, and just having fun with it. I've got time to kill, recovering from surgery, been binge watching some good movies. I watched I can't believe I waited so long to watch this film, but I watched 42 for the first time. It's about Jackie Robinson.
I wonder if I did watch it already. How long it's been out?
It's been out since, I think, 2014. It's one of Chadwick Boseman's films. It's the actor who recently passed away, who played Black Panther.
Oh my God, that was so sad.
I was just so like, sad. 2020, quit it, And
it's, and that makes you think and wonder, we don't have our lives forever, and so you have to take advantage of every single second that you have here.
But you got what?
Good with surgery.
He kept it so secret too, though. Is what amazes me, and what makes him a hero to me is just like the fact that he did Black Panther while having cancer.
Well, he was going into those chemo too.
Yeah.
He was doing that, and you can see there's a lot of interviews that they did, and when he's kind of like looks a little bit tired.
People were like cyberbullying him over how much weight he was losing, and he kept it together. And it's like I really admired that.
It's just sometimes you try to avoid all the bullying, and either though that's gonna cause a different type of bullying, like in this case, but I think when you don't wanna feel the sorry from people, you wanna keep on going, because I bet you anything he had the hope to to battle this cancer and become,
Yeah.
a winner.
Well, people, I mean, never underestimate the human spirit. People, they fight through the worst of battles.
Without saying it.
They fight through deadlines in mind,
Yes.
which I feel like that's tough, because it's like it's the doctor's job to let them know what's going on with them, and it's hard for them to hear. But
Yes, exactly.
but
I really thought that he probably thought that he was gonna win this battle.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, who knows, what the plans of the one up there,
Yeah,
are, and took it from us. But
yeah.
but he was an amazing person, I think, and how he handled everything. That's how he tells you what a great person he was.
Yeah, I mean, trying to remember if I went back and what. I mean, he did. It seemed like he just did a lot of things for the fans too, because like when Black Panther was being released, you had people of the black community coming out, speaking of what they thought was a video message to Chadwick Boseman.
Yes.
And
he visited hospitals and everything too.
Yeah,
so.
And they were telling him what was inspiring them about the film, and then all of a sudden Chadwick Boseman comes out and says, "Oh, hey, how you doing?"
Yes, exactly. That's
I love seeing stuff like that.
Yes, because that's when you see that some of the actors are actually still touching the earth a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Staying grounded for sure.
They're like, wow, they go up high, even with the little thing, we have a lot of people actually here in Denver that, they think they're pretty big, and they kind of went up to heaven.
Well, I like Keanu Reeves also for that reason, that
yes.
he just seems so ultra
Yes,
grounded.
he's just fantastic.
Taking the subway around, hanging out with homeless people in the street, even giving people rides when like their car breaks down.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always cool when I hear about
really
stars.
nice.
I mean, I've even heard like Tom Cruise
Yeah.
do that for somebody one time too, and just total gentleman about it. They're people.
Yeah, and that's
At
one
the
of
end of
the
day, everybody's
good things
people.
that the people sometimes is the people that are in this industry, a little bit high up there, but we are normal. There's nothing different. Like, I mean, you just heard Greg. He's working, in a restaurant because when you're in this business, sometimes you don't know when the next job is gonna come, and you can live out of one paycheck, even though like you got a good role, but it doesn't pay for like a whole year worth of rent, food, clothing, whatever it is.
You do it for the passion, not for the pay. So
exactly.
You have to love doing it.
Yeah, and so going back to Spanish. Pues les cuento, amigos, que Greg, él ha estado en un show de televisión que se llama Roswell, what is it, Roswell, New Mexico?
Roswell, New Mexico.
Roswell, New Mexico.
Interrogation.
Yeah, en Interrogation bueno, el de Roswell es una serie acerca de marcianos y de extraterrestres y cosas así. Entonces, si lo han visto ustedes, es en el canal del CW. Sí puedo decirlo, así que no se preocupen. Él hace ahí del oficial Joe o José. José, did they call you José? Deputy José.
Oh no, Deputy Joe.
Es el Deputy Joe. Y él está en varias escenas en la segunda temporada de ese show. Así que si lo quieren ver, también pueden ir a Netflix. ¿Is the season 2 already in Netflix for Roswell?
Yeah, it's out.
Yeah, okay. Entonces
Sí.
ya está en Netflix si lo quieren ir a ver. Y como está platicando él, le ha tocado la oportunidad de trabajar con diferentes gentes de Hollywood. Así que como dice él, no pudo hablar con ellos porque pues por respeto y eso, pero muchas veces también está en las reglas cuando está uno en set, que si hay un artista que es muy grande, ellos piden que no se les hable, pero esta vez fue porque era una escena que tenía a Christian Bale, que era muy importante, entonces no se le molestaba. Pero si algún día va a platicar con Christian Bale en persona, y yo sí la creo, así que so I really hope that you can talk to him one day and say, you know what, when you were filming,
Oh, I would just love to do a scene with him. Yeah, I would love to do a scene with him.
That would be so
just
cool.
An actor of that caliber of passion for the art. So
yes.
but yeah, your dreams, you know, just keep letting them grow. You know, sky's the limit. So
Yeah, but remember too, a lot of people don't
the
understand.
little things too.
Yeah, when you have a dream, it's not all like, you know, how will you call it, like simple. It's like no hard work. You know, it's a lot of hard work. So when it's your dream, you have to work so hard to make those become reality, because if you just sit there and waiting for the opportunity, yeah, let's say the opportunity comes and it's like, oh, hey, you know what, we need somebody for this big film and blah blah blah. Are you prepared? There's the opportunity, but are you prepared to do this? That's the other stuff, you know. It's like you already had the opportunity, you're right there, but what have you done to be able to get this opportunity? So make sure that you prepare yourself. Either
never stop training.
Yeah, and I'm not saying, you know, go ahead and take all kinds of classes. You know, you can train yourself, you know, by watching videos. Like you said, you've been watching the video of this guy, how he lets go when he goes to an audition. That's like a big, you know, preparation for your mind right there, saying, okay, you know what, let's try this. Because sometimes when you don't get an audition and you feel all down, like it was me, you know, and you kind of like destroy your whole plans for the next audition, because you're gonna be the same. It's like, oh, what am I gonna go there if I'm not gonna get it?
That's tough too, because like the first year or so that I moved down to New Mexico, man, sometimes I felt like I was walking on eggs, like, you know, because you're told like first impressions are everything, and you know that's true. It's just, you know, but you know, you don't always get judged for your, you know.
Well, it just depends on all that you're gonna play
on the person
too.
that you are. I mean, you know, just, you know, put your best foot forward, and honestly, just be genuine, just be yourself. You know, be your genuine, respectful, professional self. So.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, part of it was also just I didn't know anybody or the territory. I think I had a lot of that anxiety of being, you know, kind of scared and alone out in uncharted land.
Yes.
Except with the exception of a friend of mine, Kat, who I went to college with, who ended up moving down to New Mexico long before I did. Because I actually went to school, well, Kat did too, but I went to school for theater arts and acting, and I was focusing on stage for a while. And I did many plays here in Colorado. Elephant Man, I mentioned, with Springs Ensemble. I've done a couple with Springs Ensemble Theater down in Colorado Springs. And they're great. So, one at the Fine Arts Center, a couple at the Bug up here in Denver.
Oh, okay, the Bug Theater.
Yeah. So, and that was also a huge transition, stage to film.
To film it,
oh my gosh,
especially boys.
Yeah, that's another thing we can talk about, is like the stage to film transition, because like on film it's very intimate, it's very zoomed in, the camera catches everything, you know, and the camera helps tell the story.
Yes.
So, whereas in theater, I mean, the set, you know, helps tell the story to an extent, but it's like a lot of it is on you.
Is your movements. That's why they have to be so exaggerated, right?
What's that?
The movements and
the
so
movement.
loud.
You know, it's like if you did a monologue from Hamlet on film, it's very different from doing a monologue of Hamlet on stage. You know?
Yes.
But also, it's like, you know, films that would choose to do a Hamlet know what they're in for. So
yes, actually, I watched it the other day. Yeah. It was really good. So do you like or do you miss theater?
What's that?
Do you miss like doing plays?
I do miss plays. It's a little bit tougher when you're trying to pursue a film career, because when you commit to a theater project,
it's a long time.
You're married to it for like, you know, 3 or 4 months.
Yes.
So, and you know, the commitment's got to be there, because you got a cast full of people ready to do a live show that are depending on you. So I mean, some theater companies I've seen have like they've offered some leeway in like yeah, they'll give the part an understudy or something like that.
Okay.
You know, and if I were to get back into theater, I would be upfront about something like that. You know, it's like, look, I'm also an actor in film, and
I need that
and I
flexibility.
I don't know if something will come up. I just don't know, you know, because that's the way it is.
Exactly.
So if you want me to take on this hefty role, can we get an understudy, you know?
Yeah, so that way, you know,
So-
if you need to run,
Yeah,
you know, there's
because-
somebody ready there.
You know, film was the reason I moved to Albuquerque, so, because, I mean, we got great filmmakers down there.
Yeah, well, everybody's moving down to New Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, New Mexico is a great place to gain that experience and to see some, you know, some different type of passion that, you know, that you, just my experience, in my opinion, there's passionate people up here that do film. It's just, it's different. It's a different
Yes,
culture,
yes,
you know?
it is.
So,
And also,
yeah.
have you seen like a big growth since you moved down to New Mexico? Like a big growth in New Mexico for, you know, more people moving down there to do this?
Yeah, I mean, I have friends. My cousin's friend just recently moved down there, and she, you know, I, you know, met with her, talked to her, gave her kind of a basic rundown, you know.
Hey, let me just tell you real quick what
Yeah,
we're
you know.
here.
But you know, if you're being an actor going to a different place, you know, you have to evolve a little bit, you know. At least I
Yes.
had to.
Well, especially because they're expecting something big.
Yeah.
So you need to prepare yourself a little bit more.
you know, and honestly, if I were to were to leave Albuquerque and move to LA, it's pretty much. I mean, I got a heftier resume, but you know, I'm starting all over again.
Yes,
you know?
because they don't know you in the
So,
community. And
That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
You know, it's because I don't know the community and it's a different culture. So,
exactly.
so-
Exactly.
In Albuquerque, though, you know, one of the great things that I love about it is the community culture. Everybody supports each other. Everybody is rooting for each other, and everybody is willing to help people in their journey, no matter wherever that may be.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I love it so much. So it's just.
They
I've made a
have
ton of friends.
welcome you and.
Yeah,
you
I've made
know.
a ton of friends down there.
Well, that's good because you know
Yeah.
it is sometimes it is hard when you get to this
Yeah.
in this industry because there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of judgment, there's a lot of stuff that goes within the industry that is sometimes really hard to find a friend,
Yeah.
a true friend that is gonna actually help you move up or help you to, you know, let's say get a role if that person also wants it. You know, it is
Yeah.
always really tough. So I'm glad that you have found really
Yeah,
good people
you
down
know,
there.
I've learned a lot from people, you know, and you learn a lot on different styles, a way of doing things, but you know, not to sound too cheesy or Captain Planet, the power is yours in how you know, progress.
Exactly. I guess yeah, it is true. It's
yeah.
up to you.
You know, because everybody you know takes it differently. You know,
Exactly.
takes in how they learn differently. So.
Yeah, and make sure that, you know, like we talk about how you're taking your first rejection and everything. It's going to be hard, but just make sure that you have on your mind as well that we all have gone through that.
Yeah.
Many, many, many times. You know, I cannot even say once or twice or three. You know, it's been many, many times. And Greg, tell us that, do you have any future plans here in New Mexico or you're baking something?
Making something. Well, in Albuquerque, as soon as you know restrictions are lifted, and as soon as I'm recovered from surgery, I'm just going to get right back to work. You know, get back to class. I took a little bit of break from class because of health and
Yes.
everything going on in the world. Was a bit, you know,
Too much.
it was a lot, you know. So, and I wanted to make sure that I was staying grounded and, you know, staying grounded and true to myself through all of that.
Yes.
And here in Colorado, I mean, the projects union, yeah, and they come up, you know. I mean, I would love to come back here. So.
Well, you know, we're always happy to see you. I was, you know, like so glad when you said, "Hey, I'm recovering here in Colorado." So I'm like, okay, that's fantastic, you know. And so I was like so happy that you were able to make it to, you know, the interview this morning, and also.
I was really flattered when you asked me. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Well, I know that you've been doing so much stuff in New Mexico, and we actually we have a big audience from New Mexico, so I just wanted to, you know, give them a little bit of you too.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
Let me just check
Hi,
real
home.
quick if I can, if they let me see the messages. Okay, Randy Freire, Sylvia, you look incredible today, but you always do. Thank you. Thank you, Randy. Have a great show. Thank you, Guillermo Gallegos. Thank you for watching. James Randall, hello. Thank you so much for watching. Dusan Sylvia, hello.
I'm looking over her shoulder at her own.
Yeah.
The way I'm not supposed to.
No, that's okay. Thank you, Dusan. That's all the comments I can see. Like, of course, you know, Facebook always hide the comments from us. But, you know, if you want to support Greg, you know, make sure that you follow him on his Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, you know, for the fun stuff. That's how I say, you know, I always get TikTok as my stress reliever. You know, I think that helps me a lot with, you know, doing stupid videos and make you guys laugh. So yeah.
TikTok has been like fun for me, and also spreading positivity.
Exactly. It's a little bit of us, like on a way that you don't see us too often. You know.
Yeah.
So, but if you have TikTok now, you'll see us often.
Well, it's strange how social life has kind of evolved from like COVID, because it went kind of virtual, you know?
Exactly. So, thank you so much, Greg, for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it so much.
I hope we can do this again.
Yes, definitely. Muchas gracias por habernos estado acompañando aquí en Canciones de Domingo con Silvia. Muchas gracias, Greg, por estar con nosotros. Y nos vemos el domingo que entra aquí en KUHS Denver Radio y Televisión. Thank you so much, Greg, for being with us. We'll see you guys next Sunday, KUHS Denver Radio TV Station, The Stream. Kisses. Y aquí en el aire los dejamos con más música y les tenemos a los palominos.